A pleasant morning to everyone. Before I start, I would like to introduce myself first. I am Anipa Batara from BEd 1A. So, our topic for today is about understanding sexual harassment. How do you understand sexual harassment? Okay, sexual harassment kay dili lang siya physical harassment but it also verbal harassment. Okay, next. Next. Okay, now our lesson objectives for today's topic is first to understand fully the various theoretical perspective on sexual harassment, distinguish the various theoretical perspectives on sexual harassment from each other, and understand the laws of the Philippines on sexual harassment in the academy and in the workplace. Next. Dugay lagi. Okay, so we have these terms such as sexual harassment. Okay, it is an act or a series of acts involving any unwelcome request or demand for a sexual favor or other verbal or physical behavior of a sexual nature committed by a government employee or official in a work related, training, or education related environment. So it is not just contained into physical harassment but it also verbal harassment. So kaning sexual harassment mao ni siyang mga buhat nga walay permission sa imong buhatan, like for example in verbal telling sexual jokes, requesting sexual favors, and in the other hand in physical is unwanted touching or physical contact and inappropriate touching. So usually it happens in the workplace, it happens in educational sector, in the offices, in related environment where someone has control or dominant over another person. Okay, next. Okay, so in introduction, sexual harassment and harassment are recognized as a form of discrimination on the grounds of sex and thus are contrary to the principle of equal treatment between men and women. So, sexual harassment is not just contained, as I said, into physical harassment, but it is also in the sphere of inequality or discrimination between sexes, male and female. Okay, next. Okay, Republic Act number 7877, or also known as the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995. So defines work education or training related sexual harassment is committed by an employer, employee, manager, supervisor, agent of the employer, teacher, instructor, professor, coach, trainer, or any other person who having authority, influence, or moral ascendancy. So moral ascendancy ascendancy is kanang mo ni siya mga tao nga kanang naay authority nga mo harass kay kaning mo ni siya ang mga tao nga kanang naay mga higher positions. So dali ra para nila nga mo harass og kanang mga tao nga ubos pa nila. So over another in a work of training or education environment demands, requests, or otherwise requires or any sexual favor from the other, regardless of whether the demand, request, or requirements for submission by the object of said act. So it is usually committed by those people who are in power. So having authority or influence or moral ascendancy, it is a request for sexual favor regardless of the demand wherever it is. So ilahan nang giabusara ng ilang higher position o power para naa sila'y maharas kay ang ilang tan-aw sa uban kay ubos ra nila sa murag feel nila naa sila'y kakayahan nga ilang ing-anaon ang tao kay dili mo bawas ana. So next. Okay, now we have this theoretical perspective of sexual harassment. So this morning, you will be taking a look at these five different theories on sexual harassment. Next. Okay, so first is natural or biological theory. So according to this model, men have stronger sex drives and are therefore biologically motivated to engage pursuit of women. Thus, the harassing behavior is not meant to be offensive or discriminatory, but it is merely the result of biological urge. So, according to this theory, since men biologically have a stronger sex drives than therefore, it is normal for them to pursue women. So, from this theory, it is just normal for men to attempt to harass women because it is just comes out naturally because of their biological framework, man as they are. Okay, next. Okay, the second theory is sex role spillover theory. So this theory is based on the propositions of irrelevant gender-based role expectation that individuals bring to the workplace in guiding their interaction with women. So men hold perceptions of women based on their traditional role in our culture. So it is a theory that says people bring their ideas about gender roles into the workplace, so affecting how they interact with others. So, for example, if someone believes women should stay at home and take care of the family, they might treat female coworkers differently than male coworkers. So this theory suggests that these beliefs can spill over into how people behave at work. In other words, the stereotypes and expectation about gender roles in society can influence how people act towards each other in a work setting. Okay, next. Okay, the third is organizational theory. So, proponents of this theory propose that one of the central concepts that helps explain sexual harassment is power. This theory proposes that sexual harassment results from the opportunities presented by power and authority relations. Done. Which derive from hierarchical structures of organization. So this theory argues that sexual harassment happens because of the power dynamics within a workplace. So, for example, a manager may use their position of authority to harass a subordinate because they feel they can get away with it due to their higher rank. Okay, next. Okay, the fourth is socio-cultural theory. So sociocultural theories examine the wider social and political content in which sexual harassment is created and occurs. According to this perspective, sexual harassment is a logical consequence of the gender inequality and sexism that already exist in society. So social cultural theories look at how society and politics contribute to sexual harassment. So they say sexual harassment happens because of the existing gender inequality and sexism in society. In other words, it's a result of the unfair treatment of women and sexist attitudes that are already present in our culture. Okay, next. So the last theory is the feminist theory. So this sexual harassment exists because of the views of women as inferior sex, but also sexual harassment serves to maintain the already existing gender stratification by emphasizing sex role expectations. So according feminist theory, this is byproduct of a gender system wherein male is considered as a dominant entity. So the sexual harassment exists because of the views of women as inferior sex, but also sexual harassment serves to maintain in the already existing gender stratification. So stratification is a division among gender by emphasizing sexual expectations. We are informed then for this theory, woman is inferior. Okay, next. Okay, Philippine laws on sexual harassment. So, Republic Act number 7877 or the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995 is the governing law for work, education, or training related sexual harassment. So, in the Philippines, there is a law called Republic Act number 7877, also known as the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995. So, this law is in place to address and prevent sexual harassment in the workplace, educational institutions, and during training programs. So, basically, this law makes it illegal for someone to make unwanted sexual advances, request for sexual favors, or any other verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature that creates an uncomfortable or hostile environment for another person. Okay, next. Okay, sexual harassment in the civil service. So, sexual harassment in the civil service is punishable by Civil Service Commissions number 010940, also known as Administrative Disciplinary Rules on Sexual Harassment Cases. So, next. So, we have this stipulation. It is committed at the following places. So, number one, in the premise of the workplace of or office or of the school or training institutions, in any place where the parties were found as a result of work or education or training responsibilities relations. Next. The third is at work, educations or training related social functions. Fourth is while on official business outside the office or school or training institution or during work, school or training related travel. Next. Fifth is at official conference, fora, symposia, or training sessions. So the last is by the telephone, cellular phone, fax machines, or electronic mail. So, okay, so in summarize of this lesson, sexual harassment constitutes an extreme important kind of violence which is that had been existing in our country and also worldwide. So this complex concept consists of several theories and are punished by Philippine law. So we have specific law regarding this. So the Philippine laws on sexual harassment punishes work-related training, education, environment, sexual harassment. It can happen everywhere, thereby the acts of sexual harassment is also punishable by law. So it is good for us to be able to know this and see the stipulation and this that may be able to prevent this from happening. So that's all. Thank you.